I am a criminal defense lawyer. I have been doing this work now for the last 10 years. I've had this firm for about 6 years, just under 6 years now. And born and bred in Birmingham. And I'm doing quite well in the legal field. I always knew whatever I do, I'm going to do it good and I'm going to do it big. You know, you dream so big that you get uncomfortable telling small-minded people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even mention it to some people. You have to be a bit crazy, you have to be a bit mad. When I wake up in the morning, my mindset is someone is out there working 24 hours a day just to take me down. There are people out there that would genuinely just hate you for no reason.
Yeah.
They just hate you, they hate your success. I'm always scared. I am always scared. The UK educational system is designed just to pass exams. Some people make a bit of money and they start acting like there's something special, man. They act like they're millionaires, man.
So what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Visionation Success Stories podcast. Today I'm here at Maurice Andrew Solicitors with Mr. Akhmed Yakoob. How are you, brother?
Alhamdulillah, my brother, how are you? Thank you very much for taking time out and coming and visiting me.
No worries. Appreciate you having me here. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Tell us a bit in your own words about yourself and what you do.
I am a criminal defense lawyer. I have been doing this work now for the last 10 years. I've had this firm for about best part of 6 years, just under 6 years now. And born and bred in Birmingham. And I'm doing quite well in the legal field, alhamdulillah.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously my podcast is more entrepreneurial, so I got a question for you. Would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
You would?
Yes, of course I would. Because what do you class as an entrepreneur?
Someone who's basically like creative in their field and goes outside of the box in whatever field they're in. So I'm assuming.
Well, thinking outside of the box is something I can do very well, alhamdulillah. I would say that's one of my key skills. I'm not boasting, I don't like to be arrogant, but alhamdulillah, thinking out of the box. And if you're saying that's what entrepreneur is, then yeah, alhamdulillah, I've done quite well if you look at it like that way, because with my firm alone, I've got other business ventures as well. I don't really go into them, not many people know about them. This is what I'm known for, isn't it? But alhamdulillah, this firm, I've mentioned it previously as well, this was a firm that was actually winding down or ready to close. And I sort of revived it.
Okay.
So it was a plant that was about to die. I fertilized it, watered it, and now it's revived again, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So when you was growing up, did you ever consider yourself to become an entrepreneur, or did it just happen? How was it for you?
You know, I always knew whatever I do, I'm going to do it good and I'm going to do it big.
Yeah.
I knew that always. I didn't know what I was going to do. When we were kids, of course, when we were talking amongst each other as friends and stuff, and I would say to my friends, I am going to smash the scene, just wait. When we never had no money, we used to chip in for a fish and chips or a bag of chips, £1.50. I'm talking about them days. I'm talking about no phones. I'm talking about, you know, going to a phone box, 20 pence, I think it was, 30 pence, putting 30 pence in the phone, phoning your friend's house, say, let's meet up, them days. And to be fair, them friends are still around me. I don't have much friends. I got a lot of associates, but friends-wise, I've just got the friends that were with me from them days. Never eat with people never eat with people who you haven't starved with or who are not prepared to starve with you.
Okay, so so in terms of that, like growing up, you're still surrounded by the same people, or you've met quite a new...
I've met a lot of people, alhamdulillah. I've got a huge network, and I take pride in that because I've built you up over the years, and I've built you up not for free, or not. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes money, financially, it takes a lot out of you, because to network you have to treat people properly. Okay, sometimes it won't cost you anything if you treat people nicely, but then again, if you entertain people, and if people you are meeting and you want to sit down with them, entertain them, keep them occupied, you feed them, don't you?
Yeah.
You will give them food, you'll give them tea. It all builds up over the years, and to make a network is not easy. That's why some people are just not too bothered about it. They would like to just be comfortable and live the normal 9 to 5 life, and then go home, and that's it. I'm the total opposite. Because I have built everything that I have today because of a network that I've built up over the years. And I'm not saying I'm the most successful person around, but I'm getting there, alhamdulillah. You know, I'm slowly but surely reaching my goals. And I used to say this quite a lot, you know, quite even a short time ago, 5-6 years ago. That's not a long time. When a baby is born, and okay, it's a big difference from when they're 5 to from when they were born, but it's not a huge time. No, that's what I'm saying. If you put effort into something and you work hard towards something, and just focus on that thing and just have a tunnel vision. If you have a tunnel vision and you're focusing on that, though that 5 years, you probably could make it up with 1 year. Because sooner or later, once it clicks, and it's all going to pay off, your efforts will pay off, and that 1 year can change the last 10 years of your life, the last 5 years of your life. So I've always had that mentality, and I've always said this to people. Sometimes, not anymore, I don't really associate with much people anymore, but back, you know, a few years ago, I used to say to people, they say, what do you want to do? And based on who I'm speaking to, I will say what I want to do. Sometimes, you know, you dream so big that you get uncomfortable telling small-minded people. So I wouldn't even mention it to some people. They won't believe you. They'll think this guy's mad. You have to be a bit crazy. You have to be a bit mad. I think every person who's successful, they're not normal people.
Obsession, that's what it is.
Yes, and talent sometimes, obsession sometimes beats talent. Somebody could be more talented than you. Somebody could be more able than you. But obsession and hard work could level you up to their standard, to their level. You can't control how talented someone is. You can't control how able someone is. You can control your own work rate. Be the hardest worker in the room. Leave the rest to the Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
Work like somebody's out there 24 hours a day. They've got a whole team around them, and they've got all them facilities, and all they're trying to do is take away what's yours, take away what you've built. That's the mindset I've got. That's the mindset I have when I wake up in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, today I'm going to rest, today I'm going to have a lie-in. When's the last time you remembered having a lie-in? Have you ever sat in a group with your friends and said, I remember that time when I slept in, and you know what, it was so good. You don't remember that kind of stuff. You remember little milestones that you've achieved. You remember the first time you made some money. You'll remember your first car. You'll remember stuff like that. You'll remember people you meet. You don't remember having a nap. You don't remember stuff like that. When I wake up in the morning, my mindset is someone is out there working 24 hours a day just to take me down. There are people out there that would genuinely just hate you for no reason. They just hate you. They hate your success.
You don't switch off, right? That's what it is.
Never switch off.
You don't switch off. You don't worry about it.
You don't switch off.
That's about not being comfortable. That's when you become uncomfortable.
You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
For a few years only. And afterwards you can be a bit comfortable, but don't get so content that people just come and take you away from you. And I don't mean that in a greedy way. I don't mean that in a way that I'm not grateful. You know, you have to have an attitude of gratitude all the time. You have to thank the Lord for all the blessings that we've got. I've just come into the office, asked one of my staff members to make me a coffee, and I've drank that coffee. Not everyone has this is just coffee, I'm giving you an example. Water. Come on, brother, man. I can just drink water whenever I want. What more blessings do I want? I don't need. You know, people out there that don't have clean water, man.
It's all about perspective and, you know, being grateful for what you have. 'Cause
You
you
have
always
to-
should be considerate.
You have to be scared. I'm always scared. I've said this before as well. I don't know what podcast or interview it was. I'm always scared. I am always scared that the Lord can take whatever I have like this.
Yeah.
So I try not to be arrogant. You have to be humble.
Yeah. Yeah.
To say, even if you got a mustard seed of arrogance or pride inside you, you ain't going to enter Jannat. You're not going to heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's already been said to us, isn't it?
Exactly. Like I see here when the hospitality, like I've come here, everyone's offered me coffee, drinks, everything, food multiple times, like at least 5 or 6 times, which is the hospitality, and that's what it's all about. Exactly what it's all about, you know, and it's about being grateful. And you've obviously also, I mentioned to you earlier, the number of podcasts you've been on, the amount of times you've said yes to how many people. You've got 2 today, including myself. You had 2 yesterday. And, you know, it's about bringing people up with you. They're benefiting from you, but you're not thinking about that because, you know, you're thinking about what can I give. That's what it's about. What can you give? Not expecting anything back, and that's when you can be
Exactly. If you're doing something for someone in this world, you're not doing something for them because you want to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Lord, has made you do that. The Lord has placed you in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We can't just do things because we feel like, you know, this has all been planned. The Lord has planned this way before we were born.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing something for you, my brother, I'm not doing it because of you. I'm doing it because I will get a bit of satisfaction because I know I've made you happy today. And secondly, I know that the Lord will get happy because at the end of the day, we're all the Lord's people. Whether we're Muslim or non-Muslim, that's a different scenario. Everyone is created by the Lord. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So if I do something for the Lord's creation, whether it's a human, whether it's an animal, I've done something. And that's the mindset that we have to have around us. Yeah. And if you do something for, I've helped a lot of people. I don't want to boast on, here, but I've helped a lot of people over the years. They've mistreated me. So what? I did it for the sake of Allah.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, let me tell you something straight up. If you've got craftiness in your heart, if you've got hatred or jealousy or envy for somebody else in your heart, good luck, because you ain't going to make it. Simple. If you do make it, it's going to be for a short period of time, or it's going to be fake.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. You go away, take that negativity with you, take that hatred with you. Let's see what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does for you, innit? Ultimately, you're answering to Him.
Yeah.
So if someone does me wrong, I don't care. It's up to them, you know what I mean? They made the decision. I didn't make that decision. My heart's clean, alhamdulillah. I am genuinely happy for people who are doing well in life. Genuinely. Especially people who, I'm not going to be biased, but people who are in the same sort of geographical area as me, same city, if they come from Birmingham, same city as me, there's people from the same backgrounds as me. I get really pleased, man. I look at them and think, you know what, you're doing something for yourself. At the end of the day, everyone needs their own identity. You need your own identity. I need my own identity. And this goes for the people who are happy to live in other people's shadows. Some people are. Some people don't care. People need to get out of other people's shadows and try to create their own identity. You can copy someone, but you're always going to be an imitation. You're never going to be the real thing. So don't live in other people's shadows. Have your own style. Have something about you. Some people are born with it, some people are not, but just do your own thing in life.
Yeah. That's the thing, even in Islam teaches us to be that way. I had a guest on previously, and he mentioned every Muslim should try and do it. Because why? Because it gives you more free time. It gives you free time to do the actual worshipping. Gives you free time because, for example, you work in 9 to 5 jobs. Half the time they won't give you prayer breaks, for example, and you're living under their basic rule. But everyone should at least, it's not about, you know, it's okay to be in a 9 to 5, but you should at least try.
You should try,
You should
man.
at least try.
Look, the way I
Give it a
say,
shot.
of course, the way I say is you don't want to go through life without realizing what your true potential is, what you could have done, what you would have been, what you should have been.
Yeah.
You
Living
don't want to go through all of your life without realizing that, you know. I know people who are not that talented, who are not that able, but through obsession and through hard work, they are making waves. I'm not talking about myself. I'll be honest with you, I'm not a very talented individual. I know what I'm doing, and I can get along with people, and that's what I think the key was to me going up in the world. Alhamdulillah, I get along with people.
Yeah.
There's no arrogance, you know.
I think it's a lot about being genuine as well, which I touched on, which was when you're doing stuff, obviously you're doing it for the Lord, but at the same time when you're doing it, you're not expecting anything, because when you expect stuff in return, that's when you get the hatred building into you, that's when you get that bad feeling. So if you give, even if they, sorry to cut you up, even if they, you know, do bad, like you say, they mistreated you, but in your heart you know you've done good for them, you're never expecting anything back, so it doesn't affect you in that way.
If you've helped someone excel in life and they've gone forward because of your help, don't expect anything in return, because expectations often lead to disappointments. So you will end up getting disappointed somewhere down the line. Not everyone has the same mentality like ours. Not everyone will have the same heart like yours. Not everyone will have the same feelings like yours. If you don't have it inside you to basically do someone wrong, don't think the other person won't have it in them to do you. Think about that.
Yeah,
It's true, isn't it?
it's true. But I think when you even when you experience it, you should always, because obviously Allah is the most forgiving. If He can forgive anyone, who are we? So you know what I mean?
Of course.
We can, if they mistreat you and stuff, you should always stay positive about it. You should never have hatred and stuff like that against people as well.
Yeah, because that's going to then compromise with your own peace. If you're going to sit there and start hating on people and start thinking this guy done this, I don't have no time for that.
Yeah.
I don't have no time to think about other people. I'll be honest with you, alhamdulillah, I'm so busy that I don't have time. I don't have no energy. If someone does me wrong, if you get into argue with me, if you tell me 3 + 3 is 5, I will say, okay, thank you, and I'll walk off. I don't do that in a courtroom. I don't do that in a courtroom with prosecutors, but I mean in general life. Yeah, in general life, I don't like to get into discussions or long discussions or disagreements with people. I don't like doing it. Not because I won't win the argument, because I don't have no time.
Yeah.
I don't have no time. Most arguments, I'll be honest with you, I can win them, but I don't have no time to argue with people, to hate people, to talk about other people. I'm living my own life. I've got Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with me realistically. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you, then you do not need any human being. The whole world could be against you.
Exactly.
The whole world could plot against you. The whole world most likely will try to plot against you. The whole likely, you will get haters. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you, just keep going.
Yeah.
Put your head down. If you want anything, get up in the middle of the night, pray tahajjud. If you really want it, pray tahajjud.
Yeah.
No person is going to do something for you what tahajjud can do for you. Because tahajjud is an arrow shot in the dark, because it's dark in tahajjud time, shot in the dark that does not miss. That arrow won't miss. So if you really want something, get up in the middle of the night and pray tahajjud. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give it to you. It might not give you straight away. Sometimes things don't go to according to our plan, mine's and yours plan. They don't go according to our plan. But they will always go according to the Lord's plan.
Yeah.
Always.
Definitely. That's when you think about what path to take, but then when you look back, you see how all the dots connect. And you see this was the plan, and
Yeah.
saved me from something that I wished for, but I got something better in return. And that's the thing.
That's the thing. And sometimes, when I think about stuff like this, my hair raises. I'm very conscious about stuff like this. And I think to myself, remember that? I said, that was Allah's plan.
Yeah.
It's just, and alhamdulillah, I always feel protected. I'm always scared, but at the same time, I'm protected. I'm not scared of no humans, or humans going to harm you or anything like that, alhamdulillah. None of that. But I'm scared of the Lord. The Lord can take everything away from you in a matter of seconds. But at the same time, I pray every day, alhamdulillah, as much as I can. I pray my 5 times. That's normal though. I don't want to go into that because that's normal. That's what a Muslim should do. I'm not saying I'm a religious person or anything like that. A Muslim should pray 5 times a day, no matter what. We've been given guidance. We've had the best human ever who has lived on the face of this earth. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who's come and who's given us guidance. Through him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us guidance. So we know what we have to do.
Yeah, that's the thing.
We know what we have to do, but we're just lazy about it.
Yeah, it's who our role model should be. And with Islam as well, I spoke about this in my last podcast. It's like when you know, no matter what's going on in your life, Islam, it's like an arrow. It's like a line that you follow. If you're going too far away from it, eventually you'll come back to it. You come back to the middle, whichever way you're going. But that will keep you on the straight path that you need to know. Like keep you steadfast, keep your head down. As you said.
You have to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. We know that.
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves us more than our parents love us. So how many mistakes have we made when our parents just forgive us? Countless, innit? And once, if you're turning away, one thing I would, advise you or anybody who's watching this podcast is don't let go of your salah. Once you let go of your salah and you don't feel that guilt within your heart that you're missing salah, then there's an issue. Because no matter what you're doing, you could be sinning. You could do whatever. I'm not going to go into the sin now as well, but you could be sinning. Some people don't pray because they are sinning.
Yeah.
Some people don't pray because they say, we're committing adultery, we drink, we smoke drugs. That's why they don't pray. But the thing is, the first thing that you are going to be questioned about in the grave is going to be what? Your prayer. So if you are committing a sin, why are you committing an even bigger sin? By missing prayer as well.
Yeah.
So the guidance is there. We've got the best book ever in the world, the Quran. Those are the words of the Lord, man. Powerful. And in the Quran is a way of life. Islam is a way of life. Come on, let's be honest. Anybody can go out on the weekend and get pissed. Anybody, I'm talking about the youth now here, anybody can go and get a girl and have a illegitimate relationship with them and commit adultery. That's easy. Why do you want to be like everybody else? Be a proper Muslim. I'm going to only listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's told me to do things. Why am I going to listen to another human being? Why am I going to try and impress another human being? Why? The only humans you need to impress are your parents.
Yeah. Even the lifestyle that we live according to Islam is the way that any human can live, even if you're Muslim, non-Muslim. It's the way of the lifestyle of being good to others, being charitable, things like that. And that's what Islam's all about. That's what being a human is all about. Being a good human is all about.
Of course, I'll quickly touch on a story which might interest you. I had a friend who was a Hindu. I've got a friend, he's one of my very good friends, sorry. But he was a Hindu. He was, see the key word was. I met this guy because he wanted to train. We're talking when I was studying my legal practice course. I met this guy, he wanted to train, and I met him. He used to live local to me, so he just started talking to me. And I'm not in shape no more, but I used to look alright them days. I'm going to get back in shape. An out of shape man is a lazy man. It's a sign of a lazy man. And laziness is a tool of shaitan. Laziness is a tool of the devil. If you're lazy, I'm not going to say anything, but if you're lazy, your friendship is with the devil, which is the truth. So this brother, he came up to me and he said, I want to come to gym. Can I come to the gym with you? And I said to him, of course you can, and he was quite shocked that I said to him, yes. I didn't think nothing of it. So he met me in the gym. 2012, I think, 11, 12, yeah. We started training together. Then, after training, we would go and get a meal. And we started just talking to each other, and we just became friends. He was from a Pandit family, so they are very religiously inclined towards their religion, Hinduism, very religiously inclined. So start speaking to this brother, and you know, there was nothing about Islam. I never ever spoke about this brother about Islam. So you can't, non-Muslims are not going to see you pray, are not going to see you read the Quran, hardly ever. On TV they might, on internet, YouTube they might, but they're not going to see. What do they see? They see the way you act. They see the way you treat others. So out of the blue one day, he comes to me, this brother, and he says, I want to be a Muslim. It took me by surprise. I go, wow. I go, why? I said, why? He said, just the way you are. He goes, when I was in India, I've not spoke about this story ever. This is exclusive. Yeah. He said, when I was in India and I was coming over here, the first thing my family warned me about and my friends warned me about was, watch out for the Muslims. But especially watch out for the Pakistani Muslims. And I was thinking, you know, these guys are going to be terrible. I'm going to be, you know, they're going to be racist towards me. I'm going to get abused and all of that. And he said, you're the total opposite. Because I introduced him to all my friends. I introduced him to my family. I introduced him to, you know, everyone. So he said, you guys are so nice. It's unimaginable. You know, they've got a totally different mindset over in India about you guys. Pakistani and Muslim and Pakistani at the same time. That's a double whammy. No. That's a no-go area. You don't associate with them people. But he said, look, you guys are the nicest people I've ever met in my life. I go, is that it? He goes, no, it's just the way you go on about you. You talk a lot about Islam. Like, you know, I don't talk about Islam like that in a way. I do, like now I'm speaking about Islam. It's just like these kind of conversations. I'll say Alhamdulillah after everything. See something with Subhanallah. Doing something tomorrow, Inshallah. Meet you in the gym tomorrow, yes, Inshallah. You know, these kind of little, somebody could like that little aspect about you and change their whole life around. So let me tell you what happened to this guy now. This is another success story, that guy is. I really rate him. His ratings, this guy, you know, he's inspirational. So what happened, this was his story actually. So when I got to know him, then we got to, you know, he came over on a visa, student on a work visa or something like that it was. He came to this country with £30 in his pocket. 11 years ago. Yeah, £30 in his pocket. He came, and whilst he came, he just sent a few emails over to a few job offers as cleaners, and he sent Aston Villa Football Club a email. He sent a few emails. He had a degree in accounts or something like that from back home, and he sent some emails regarding jobs in those fields as well. Anyway, he came £30 in his pocket. He came to this country on a Thursday, I think it was Thursday, yeah. So he had £30 on a Thursday. And he said that he bought a loaf of bread that he used to eat. Take a bread out of there every day, 2 breads, 3 breads, eat it. He never used to walk past chip shops, so he don't smell the smell of food. And so he doesn't get hungry, so he doesn't feel like eating. And £30 lasted him up until Sunday or Monday, I think it was. He had his loaf of bread there. And he then got the response from Aston Villa Football Club as a cleaner. Started working there as a cleaner for a bit. Whilst he was doing that, he's received a few other emails to do some other job. And he got a job. Then he set up his own business. I don't want to get into the business, it's a long story. He set up his own business. Now, the man is driving a 22-plate Range Rover, and he's got 4 houses, lovely houses that's paid off. He's got numerous businesses. And at one point, the company that he was with, where he got his visa to come into the country, was closing down or something. So he came to me for assistance then. I said, do you know anybody? I need to, there needs to be a company who's got a tier 2 license, I think it is. And they can sponsor me, so then I can keep my visa and I can stay in this country, otherwise I'm going to get deported. So I was talking to him that day and he reminded me of that. I go, look, I forgot about these things, man. He just reminded me, that's why I just brought you up. He said, without you, I would have been deported in Pakistan now. Because he found me and he said, look, I've opened a new business, doing very well, come down, have a look at it. He does recycling now. On a big scale, I'm talking guys making good money. Don't want to get into figures, but making good money. I said, I'll come down. And just reminded me about a few old times. And I said, okay, that's nice, man. So anyway, this guy was a struggling guy. Anyway, I met him. He got to know me and he basically, you know, I'm not taking the full credit for it, but he reverted because of how nice I was to him and my friends and my family were towards him. So you can change somebody's life just by being nice to them. It doesn't take a lot, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's the perspective. Like, as you said, that his family, that they said they warned him about Muslims, Pakistanis and stuff. But he was lucky enough to come into contact with you. It was a group of people that were, you know, being nice to him, being kind to him. Because he could have went to another group of people that were not going to be like that. They would have been what they said they were going to be. And that way, then he would have been complete the opposite way. But that's the thing. There's always going to be people like that, but we have to be in ourselves, be better people. That way, everyone around us will become better as well.
Exactly, and that brother, that blessed brother, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him the light in it.
Yeah.
Showed him the light. I just happened to be there.
Yeah.
The right
he shows the light to who he wants to.
Who he wants to, man. It's like winning the lottery. It's not a joke. Imagine that. All of his family now are Muslim. His wife's Muslim. His babies are Muslim.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. Now his next generation is going to be Muslim
Look at that.
From that one little thing. It sparked.
And I think that's one of the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me. He's one of the reasons. Definitely. I don't get taught for no reason, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts thoughts in your heads, innit? Yeah. So I think that is a big factor in my life.
Yeah. That's the thing, yeah, exactly what you said. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the platform for you to go out and do these things because that's the kind of person you are. You always want to help people, you want to show gratitude, you want to do these kind of things. So it's, you know, that's exactly what it is.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. So, yeah, just to touch on in terms of, we spoke about the haters. Obviously, you must get a lot of haters. And I've noticed one thing when dealing with haters is when you show them kindness, they will stop hating. You show them kindness, they will think, because if I was a person hating, I've hated on people before when I was younger, I was a kid, maybe little like trolling comments, this and that. I might have done that before, but if someone was kind to, if I said something nasty, they've been kind to me back, then I would doubt myself, thinking, well, I'm being nasty to this guy. He's being nice to me. I'm like, what the hell, what am I doing?
That's actually true. You can't fight fire with fire, innit?
Yeah.
You got to fight fire with water.
Makes you think, man. So
you got to cool them down wherever they are. Sometimes I do reply to some of my comments. You've probably seen me on my TikTok social. So I do sometimes reply, and I will say stuff like thanks. I will just put a laughing emoji there. Sometimes I say lol. But yesterday I did say something on a comment. I put down okay hater, so that person replied back with saying, I'm not a hater, I'm just messing about with you, I got a lot of respect for you, and stuff like that. So he probably just wanted a response from me. He got a response, so I think he's not a hater no more. You have to take it with a pinch of salt. Hey, it comes in it. With success, it comes hatred.
Obviously, sometimes it might affect you. Obviously, it will affect you. The amount of hate you might get, some of it might actually get to you, but
not to me. I don't think. Nah, alhamdulillah.
But that's because of what you believing in, what you know. As you said, you don't bother with people that disagree with you, so you don't forget, you don't think about it. A lot of people you see, like these celebrities and famous people, they get hate and it gets to them, it affects their mental health and stuff like that, which is quite a big thing. But if you know if you know what's right, if you know that this is what I want to do, this is how I am, I'll treat people nice, stuff like that, kind of gratitude and showing appreciation, stuff like that, then it won't affect you. If you have something in you that triggers it, then that's a deeper thing. But
exactly. You just ignore the haters. That's what you have to do. Because if they are genuine haters, you're giving them that importance that they don't deserve. You're giving them a bit of your energy that they don't deserve. Why give them that? Use that somewhere else. Channel that energy somewhere else.
Even
You're going to benefit from it.
Even if you are getting haters, you're doing something right, and it's basically free marketing at the end of the day. So
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
yeah.
No such thing as bad publicity. People are talking about you. You're doing things right. In order to be successful, you have to cause disruption. If you cause disruption in people's lives, and they just find a video of you and just start talking about you, you're halfway there, man.
Yeah, it's creating the noise, exactly.
You're creating a noise, yeah. So you're halfway there already. So yeah, carry on.
Yeah. So in terms of entrepreneurship and the stuff that we talked about, where you said you just work hard, and what people see then, they see the end goal, but they don't see. They see the tip of the iceberg. They don't see the bottom. Everything that you've worked up, the hard work that you've reached to get to this point. For example, you post your TikToks. They'll see this guy's a successful lawyer, this, that, the other, but they don't know how much hard work you've put in from the start. They'll see the end, and that's the thing with social media these days. It's like a lot of fake stuff goes on, or people's perception, they want to get rich quick, they want to this, that quick, but they have to realize you have to put in the hard work day in, day out. Discipline, you have to put in the hard work day in, day out. You keep going through the motion, and then you'll see one day it will benefit you, and that's what it's all about. And how's it been for you in that kind of journey?
Well, discipline is what separates the boys from the men. Motivation is something that anybody can get motivated. It's very short term.
Yeah. It's like the punch that gets you going at the start.
But to keep it going, you need discipline in your life. If you don't have discipline, then it's going to be very hard. And it's like a routine that is instilled inside your brain, inside your head, that when you get up, the only thing you're thinking about is where you need to get to.
Yeah.
And the world itself makes way for people who know where they are going. The world will become your oyster. The world will slowly, layers, it's called layers. It doesn't happen overnight. Like the famous saying is, Rome wasn't built overnight. Some people, they just want to be a part of the final result, but they don't want to be part of the process. But the process is where you find out who's worth being part of the final result.
And it's about enjoying the process. The most fun part is the process.
Yeah. Now when you look back, sorry to interrupt you. Now when I look back and I think, that was easy. And I sit here, I'm thinking easy, everything's easy. It wasn't easy, it's hard. But if once you do something, you think it's done, it's easy, everybody can do it. But no, it's really hard.
Yeah.
Like when I studied, when I tell people I studied, it's easy. But the thing is, for other people, it may not be easy, it may be hard, but the thing is, the recipe is the same for everybody. Why does the sauce come out different? Because people don't have discipline. People don't do it on a daily basis. Yeah. People take breaks. They have the occasional lie-in. They will, I don't know, shy away from work. I don't know. They're doing something wrong, isn't it? They're doing something what normal people. Not normal people. They're doing something what these people who are successful, who are entrepreneurs, are not doing. They're doing something wrong, aren't they? That's why. Because everybody knows the keys, man. Everybody knows what the recipe is to success. Yeah. It's there in black and white. We've got the Quran as guidance. That's the best guidance ever. We've got the Prophet ﷺ as guidance. That's the best guidance ever. So everybody knows what needs to be done. Don't say people got lucky when they've been working. I work 12 to 13, 14 hours a day. Till now. I'm going to Liverpool after this to see a client. Yeah. I could send somebody else. I still work 13, 14 hours a day, and I have my days planned. Like, I have my days planned to the T. So if I defect from my routine, I'm messing up my whole day. So if just say now, if I was half an hour late to this podcast, I'll get late to my visit in Liverpool. Yeah. So I had to come in early, and I had this slot. I know I have to be in the car for a certain time, and then I'll get to Liverpool. I have my day. I'll only leave about 15-20 minutes in case I need to stop on the way, or in case I need to do something, grab a quick coffee. Just 15-20 minutes I'll leave. Everything is planned to the T, and that's planned a day before, a couple of days before. I plan it. Yeah. See, look, I couldn't fit it in, so I told my office I go rebook it, rearrange it, and we've done it to the way that I can do it now.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the structure and following that structure, and is the discipline, as you said. But yeah, in
The
terms
difference between a dream and a plan is a deadline.
yeah,
Anybody can dream, but you have to plan, and you have to get to your goals. You got to have a plan, and that plan is to have a deadline, because life's too short.
The deadlines, they put you under pressure. And I was just saying, like, enjoying the process and stuff, because when you get these achievements, for example, whatever achievement,
Everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon then.
you get the achievements, but then once you get it, for example, you get your law firm and you get this and you get that, like, once it happened, and then eventually the novelty of it wears off. But what you enjoyed the most was getting it, when it's getting the bit to get it, even getting a nice car.
Yeah.
After a while, it just becomes the same. But then it's like, oh yeah, I did this. This is the process I'll reach to attain it.
We're humans, aren't we? We're never going to be happy with materialistic assets or with materialistic objects. The son of Adam, they say that if you give him a valley of gold, he would want another valley of gold. So we're never going to be happy with the finances or the money. Like I said, the process is what makes it worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
The process is what makes it. Money is figures. Everybody wants more.
Yeah. Exactly.
It keeps going. It's never going to stop.
So yeah, in terms of when you, obviously I've heard the story how you got into law and what you did. So just touching a bit on that, what was your kind of process to get to from when you first started to when you become a fully qualified lawyer and starting your own firm? In terms of, I know you talk a lot about the academics. There's a lot of people that are book smart, but they're not the same as the people that put the hard work in. They can't think outside the box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With me, I've never been academically smart, and I don't say I am as well. A lot of people, you probably seen the comments on social media. I don't know. A lot of people say I don't know how to speak English properly, but I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
As long as you can get things done, that's what matters.
Yeah.
And you can't measure somebody's intelligence by academic qualifications. You can't.
Yeah.
I've seen people with first class degrees, psychology degrees or whatnot degrees, and then I've seen people who just have a basic education. But the people who've got first class degrees can't even hold a conversation with the other person. The other person knows more about life and has had more life experiences. Some people are bookworms. They just been stuck in books. Well, it's good to read though. I read a lot. Yeah. But that's not the only thing I do. You have to go out and about. You're going to meet people. You're going to socialize. Not everybody thinks like you. You have to meet people who think differently to you. That's when you'll know. You start to understand, life from other people's perspective. That's when things will make sense to you. Not one human is like another human. We're all different. Our hearts are different. We look different. You could be identical twins, but your hearts will be different.
Yeah. Yeah. In terms of like academics, like, what's your, obviously you mentioned that, you shouldn't be judged on academics, but at the same time, as you said, everyone's different. Some person might want to go to university and do these kind of things, and there's nothing wrong with that, because at the same time as the experience, myself, I went to university, I got a degree, but I don't use it. But
it taught you stuff, because you must have met new people at university. It's socializing with other people, not just being in your own little box room and doing your own thing. Like I said, you learn to understand how other people think. University is good. I've never been against education, or I think education is very good because it disciplines you. Again, you have stuff to do where it's deadlined. Even if you don't use it, your degree will come to benefit somewhere down the line. And with me, I wasn't very academically smart and I wasn't very into studying, but I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew whatever I wanted to do, I'm going to get that done, inshallah, with the help of the Lord. And I never got the best degree. I got a 2:2 degree. My staff members, most of them, they've got better degrees than me, but it is what it is. They're working for me, and I'm here, alhamdulillah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what life. I was obsessed, brother. Like I mentioned earlier, obsessed with getting things done, regardless of Maurice Andrews solicitors, regardless of anything else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been very grateful to me, has blessed me beyond imagination, and if it wasn't this, it would have been something else. And it's not going to only stop here, my brother. It's going to carry on going, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open doors for you, man.
that's the thing with entrepreneurs and successful people. Whatever they did, regardless of what it was, if they didn't have that, they would have done something else because of the way they are. That people think that you mentioned, like, you know, they think is luck. It's not luck, it's just that's the thing they did. But if they didn't do that, they would have done something else anyway.
Something I always say, hard work puts you where good luck can find you.
Yeah.
So the Lord is watching you working hard.
Mm.
And sooner or later, He'll bless you with that good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, and so in terms of the academic, like the university, I heard you mention on the podcast before, where, like, you know, if you know the answer, if you know the questions that are going to come up, then you just focus on that. You don't actually learn it. So that's the same with me.
It's the truth, isn't it?
It's the truth. When I was in university, I didn't go to. My attendance was like 10%. I would go.
The UK educational system is designed just to pass exams.
Yeah.
It's not designed to make you any more wiser. You could find out from a past paper that what's going to come up on the exam is not going to be something too far off, and you learn that. You just learn that, and you learn that day before the exam, and you go and pass it. Come on,
exactly.
We all did that.
Yeah,
it's just
everyone did it.
We all did that, my brother.
Yeah. But the experience as well, like the experience when you actually get, for example, if you graduate and then you get a job, that's when you actually learn stuff. When you put yourself into, you drown yourself in that, and you learn from, going through like hard work and going through adversity. When you go through adversity,
you learn a lot more, man, than university, man.
Put yourself in them situations.
You have to put yourself in the deep end. Even if you don't know how to swim, you got to throw yourself in the deep end, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you swim out of there. Then you won't have, if being strong is your only option, what else are you going to do? If you're in the deep end, you have to swim out, otherwise you're going to drown. By drowning, I don't mean drowning, but I mean, you're going to fail. You have to be, you learn more. You learn more on the job. Even after my degree, I did the legal practice course, never learned much there as well. That was mainly, and it's an open book exam, so you know what's going to come up in the exam, as long as you are a good writer and you can write quick and you have a basic understanding, you'll get through that easy. This is the difficult bit.
Yeah. So obviously then when you just before you got when you bought the law firm, what was you doing before that?
Before I bought the law firm, I was working here.
Oh, you was working here. Okay.
I was working here for Mr. Andrews, Maurice Andrews, for free of charge, 2014. After I had qualified from my old firm, I'd fallen out because of the issues I used to have there. Yeah. And then I came here and I worked for free for Maurice, and I asked him, I said, look, I'll work for free for you, Maurice. He was quite shocked. I saw an opportunity. I wasn't into short-term money. I wasn't into that £2,000-3,000 a month. I didn't want that. I wanted people working for me for that much money. That's what my goals were. And I knew how to do it quickly. So I went there, I seen Maurice and I said, look, I'll work for free. I saw an opportunity because he kept talking about retiring and winding down. I thought, okay, I could do this with this place. And I always liked this place. I always liked the building. It's a lovely building. It's Victorian. I like this building, man. And it's got a character to it.
Yeah, I like the branding. There's a lot of signs and
you have to.
Very stands out quite a lot.
Marketing is important in any business, man. Marketing is important. Branding is important. You have to become a brand.
Yeah.
Maurice Andrews Solicitors is a brand. Ahmed Yakoob is a brand.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, exactly. Like, you've you went into it and you built it up, and at the start you worked for free. Like, a lot of things.
5 years. First 5 years in the legal profession, I didn't make a single penny. The next 5 years, now I'm here.
Yeah, exactly, because you put in that hard work at the start without trying to gain the money and not thinking about the money. It's the long term, where you invested your time. You invested your time essentially because you weren't making money. You invested your time, and then you got the back end of it eventually. That's just how we've been talking about everything we're talking about. That's how the way it works. And the principles in life is the same.
When you are young, you work to learn, not to earn. So if you can gain knowledge from somewhere, someone older than you, someone more experienced than you sit with them. Someone successful, you sit with them. You can pick up 1-2 words that they tell you, and trust me, that can change your life.
Yeah, that
can change your life. And it's not what's in here. Nobody can take that off you.
Yeah.
Nobody can
take
that. Knowledge is power. Nobody can take this off you. If you have money, they can take your money off you. Anything else, they can take it off you. But your mind, your knowledge, nobody can take that off you.
Yeah.
So just learn learn. Eventually, you will earn.
Exactly. So when you got the firm, and I'm a big advocate on talking about giving opportunities to people, creating jobs, stuff like that. And I talk about it a lot on my podcast and with the guests that I have on. And the reason that I have them on is because they've done things like that, and that's the kind of one of people that I want to get on. So in terms for you, how was it for you, like personally, creating the jobs? Or obviously you come into the business, there were already people that were working in the business, assuming obviously because it's an organization, but then hiring more people, giving more people opportunities, bringing them up with you.
They all left. Most of Maurice Andrews' staff left when I took over. I couldn't really pay them, and because it wasn't a very successful business, I just paid Maurice Andrews for the firm to take it over. So I couldn't really pay them, and most of them did leave. At one point in 2017, I was totally alone. So I was a receptionist. I used to go to the police station. I used to go to court to represent people, and I was the admin. So I used to come in the morning. I used to open up the office, check the emails, then jump in my car, go to court. Finish court, come back. If there's a police station to go to, I'll go to the police station. I'll come back after 5. Once the working day is finished, the courts are closed. That's when I used to do all my paperwork. So my day used to consist of from about 6 a.m. up until 10, 11 p.m. And I never did that for long, about 1-2 years, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it. And then now I'm in that position that I can actually help people. So there's people out there that I was in that position 10 years ago, and it's hard for people, I'll be honest with you. The one thing I don't want people to do or do with people is treat them how I was treated. No way, I can't do that. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put me in a position to help people. I'm going to help people.
Yeah, exactly.
And one thing I learned from my old place where I used to work at, is how not to treat my staff or how not to treat my team. And I look after my team because my team is the people who are around me. I can't do everything on my own now, I'm too busy. And I got other business ventures as well, I just can't do it.
Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has allowed you to get that platform to do these things.
Alhamdulillah, and I'm trying to make the most of it, man. Anybody comes to, I'll help them all.
Yeah, stuff like that, is the opportunities, is like charity, not even just giving money to people, is helping people in that way. And how has it benefited you personally as well? Like, doing charity work,
It humbles you.
Yeah.
It humbles you, and it shows in your way of life. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with you, He will show in your way of life. I'm not saying that in a financial way or materialistic way. No, I mean Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with you, you will see it. Because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, calls you to the prayer mat and you're praying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with you. You've not chosen to pray. He's put that in your head. He's put the thought in your head and you're praying. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will show in your life how you live your life. If you get up in the morning, you're praying Fajr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with you. If you go to the masjid, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is more happy with you. He's happier. Because you've chosen to do these things. So the way it shows, it portrays in your life, it portrays in my life, it will portray in your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is happy with you. It will be easy to pray, to show gratitude.
Yeah. So for you, what has been or your ultimate goal in life? Obviously we spoke about Islam and everything. That's it's quite obvious what it is. We're working towards that. But in terms of what else do you want to achieve before we move on, basically? What's the kind of things that what's your ultimate goal in life, basically, that you want to achieve?
The ultimate goal in life is just discovering my true potential, the ability and impact as much people in a positive way as possible. So when I go from this world, at least people can say he was a good guy. Yeah. I've seen people talk bad about people even after they passed away. Yeah. So at least when I leave this world, I can leave a smile on people's faces. Yeah.
It's about the legacy that you want to leave. That's the impact.
It's a legacy, innit? Yeah. But all boils down to what's going to happen after this life.
Exactly.
The main aim is that, and so this life, if we can pass that test, and the test is passed exactly how I've told you. You pray, you be nice to people, you try to help people, Your character.
The blueprint's there. It's always been
It's there, man. The recipe is there. The characters. Your character is everything.
And you know what they say, you know, be the change that you want to see in the world. One person can't change it, but you can. If you're being the change, then it can be like a chain effect.
It's, exactly the same way. If you want to be successful in this world, you're going to have to do things on a daily basis. So if you impact one person, they may impact another person. It could become a chain. Yeah. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal for everyone should be, I think.
Yeah.
Money comes and goes, man.
Exactly. If you lost everything, you would still be the same person. You wouldn't.
I would still be the same person, and I know if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me, I'll get it again.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll get it again somehow, inshallah. So
yeah,
I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the technicalities and the legal stuff. So you mentioned, I saw a video on your TikTok. I think you mentioned about you had clients where there was 3 or 4 people, and your clients, 3 of them, I think they said no comment, and the 4th person, he wasn't your client, he spoke about it. So tell us a bit about it.
See, good job you mentioned that video, because that was the very first legal sort of video that I uploaded, and it went quite viral on Instagram. It wasn't on TikTok, but it went very viral on Instagram. That was basically 4 people were arrested for blackmail.
Yeah.
Blackmail. So blackmail is when you threaten somebody and you want something of them, money or something like that. So it was blackmail, and the circumstances of the offence were that 4 gentlemen, they went into, not 4, I think it was 3 gentlemen.
3, okay.
Went into a shop in Birmingham city centre and threatened the individual. They also assaulted him. One person was outside in the car. They wanted some money. There was a debt owed or something like that. But that was the case. That was a police case. So they get arrested. I represent 3 of them. I advise all 3 of my clients to say no comment.
Yeah.
Because at that time, the police, they could not put my client, any 3 of my clients, at the scene. The only thing they had was the shopkeeper stating that it was them. Their faces were covered. I'm not saying it was my clients that were there, but I'm saying the evidence against them, what the police case was. The police case was that the faces were covered, they had balaclavas on. The shopkeeper recognized one of their voices. That was the only evidence. So the police couldn't put them at the scene. I told them to go no comment. I told them the police don't even have enough to charge you. Yeah. So say no comment. They said no comment. But the 4th person, he spoke. He spoke in the police interview. He admitted being at the scene. He admitted being at the scene but denied the offence. So how can you admit being somewhere at the time? Yes, I was there, but I didn't do this. You're admitting half of the stuff already. Yeah. So he went to court. Got found guilty, and he served 11 years in prison. See, decisions like this could cost someone 11 years of their life. Okay. A decision. The only thing his lawyer had to say at the time was just say no comment, let them prove it. It's their job to prove the case, not us to prove we're innocent. It's their job to prove it. If they can't prove something, it's if we haven't done anything wrong. The clients haven't done anything wrong. And I'm not even saying it was my clients. I'm not acting like I've got someone guilty of. I'm saying the prosecution, the police at the time did not have enough evidence.
Yeah.
So I advised my clients to go no comment, no further action.
Yeah. So he was someone else's client, and
he was somebody else's client. Yeah.
Never advised him to do the same, basically.
Exactly. Laziness affected somebody for 11 years of their life.
Exactly, and that's the thing we talk about. Like, you know, you're an entrepreneur. You've treated it like, you know, it's not just when you finish at 5, you go home and your brain switches off.
This is my life.
That's your life, exactly. And
this is my life, brother.
When you work till 10, 11 working on a case, I was listening to a podcast when you mentioned about a client where something about a mobile phone, and you worked till 1 a.m. and you found
on Thursday they gave us the phone.
Yeah, that's the one.
Monday was the trial. So the prosecution must have thought this guy's lazy. He's not going to watch it. He's not going to go through it. Police officer came here, dropped the phone off, just jumped straight on the computer, made a few copies of it, called my client in. I said, come here. He came in. We was there, man.
Yeah.
Caffeine got us through. We was there.
Exactly, man. That's the thinking outside the box and working hard. And
If I never done that, he would have been in prison 20 years.
Yeah.
So I saved somebody 20 years of their life.
Yeah. It's the little actions that have.
It's the little actions, man.
big
Little
consequences.
actions have big impacts.
Yeah. Okay. So one point I want to touch on, we've spoken a lot about Islam and everything. So as a Muslim, the morality of the cases that you might find, or sometimes where you might have the defendant, he's, you have a gut feeling about him, or you think, would you just drop the case then? But when he comes to you, you might have a gut feeling that this guy might have actually, he's something wrong about it, but you have a gut feeling. Because I heard you talk about something like this before in a podcast, but...
Who am I to judge?
Yeah.
I can't judge someone on my gut feeling. I can't judge someone's life. Come on, I'm not the Lord, am I?
Exactly.
Or I'm not the court, am I? And a lot of people ask me that. And there sometimes some comments say, how do you feel in representing guilty people? But do they ever go and ask a prosecutor how the prosecutor is feeling when trying to send an innocent man, convict an innocent man, trying to send them to prison? Because I know innocent people who are in prison, who are serving life imprisonment, whose kids are growing up without them. Why don't they get asked this question? Why are only defense lawyers asked about their morality? Why?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense, does
It's
it?
an interesting thing.
It's very biased.
Yeah.
I think it's very biased.
Yeah, I agree, because I've heard you speak about it before, and it makes sense. Like when you say you just want to give them a fair trial, that's what it's about.
Of
Because
course.
they're innocent, you don't know, you don't judge.
I don't need to judge. So being guilty or innocent has got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
I am not the judge, I'm not the jury. The trial is going to be heard by jury. The jury is a panel of members who are upstanding members of the community with no previous convictions. You can't have a previous conviction and be on the jury panel. That's one of the requirements. So these are upstanding members of the community with no previous convictions, and they've seen evidence from both sides. They've seen the evidence from the prosecution side, they've seen the evidence from the defense side. They've heard the judge direct them on how to convict. So they've been taught, they've seen the evidence from both sides, and they've also been directed in law as in what is required in order to convict someone. And if they turn around and say not guilty, so who are me and you to judge?
Exactly.
Who are we to judge? Who are these people on Instagram or TikTok to judge?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Keyboard warriors.
Exactly, the haters that we spoke about. But yeah, so the for you, is it, obviously heard you mention before, obviously you want to win every case, but it's more about making sure that it's a fair trial and making sure that if the person is innocent, they will be not going to prison, basically.
Of course.
So how do you find the balance in that? Like, if you lose a case, but how do I word it? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
If I look, at the end of the day, I know what you're trying to say. Not every result is going to go my way. I'm not going to win every case. But the thing is, if I know deep down that I've done everything I could possibly have done to try and get my client a good result, then I'm okay with it. But if I feel that I've let a client down, I don't think I'll be able to live with that. I mean, I will be able to live with it, but it's going to play on my mind. I don't like things to play on my mind. So you rather get it right the first time. Why regret something later? You rather put the work in. It goes again with life. You rather put the work in when you've got the time, not regret it later. Don't make it a situation where you haven't even tried in life. Because if you try and you fail, it's okay. If you try and you fail, it's okay. But if you don't even try, you don't want to go 5 years, 10 years down the line and think, I should have done that, man. Take risks in life. They pay off.
You mentioned that's the thing about being lazy as well. The way that you just are, you're not lazy, and you want to go into every case giving you 100%. You're not thinking, you know what, I'm gonna get paid. Get the money. You get the money first. Don't worry about it. You know, if whatever happens, happens. But you take it. Case by case.
It's not all about money, brother. Like I said, we used to, chip in for a £1.20 bag of chips. It's not all about money, man. Money's got nothing to do with it, man. This is my life, and I don't like to play with people's lives. I don't like it.
Because when you chase the money only. When you reach disappointment, you're never satisfied.
When you chase the money, you don't get it. When you chase fame, you don't get it. You only get things when you don't chase them. When you just focus and be disciplined and try and do something what you're after, then you'll get it. But if your only intention is to get money or to get fame, it's going to be very difficult. I know people who crave fame and who crave money, and trust me, they don't get it.
It ends up leaving you disappointed. Even if you do get it ends up leaving you disappointed.
Exactly.
Because we know we spoke about
money can destroy people, man. Money can destroy some people. Some people I know that didn't have money and they were okay, and now they've got money and their life is not good. They're not living a good life.
Yeah, the saying, like, you know, that we spoke about as well. The saying is, if you're a bad person, the money is only going to bring that out more. If you're a good person, that's going to bring that out more.
That's a very good saying, you know. I really like that. Yes, if you're a good person, money will make you better. If you're a bad person, money will make you worse.
Yeah, they say, because the original saying about everyone that says money is the root of all evil.
It is, yeah.
How you are as a character.
It's how you see money. It's how you portray money. Yeah. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the Lord blesses you financially, you raise your standard of giving, not living. You always be humble. You always have to remember where you came from. My dad used to tell me stories when he never had no food for days, man. So I'm not going to turn around and think I'm some big shot and I'm going to do this, do that. My dad never used to have money for clothes. My dad never used to have money to feed himself and his brothers and sisters. So it depends in a way, because some people forget all this stuff, man, where they've come from, how difficult it was. Some people make a bit of money and they start acting like there's something special, man. I know people who just got, okay, they've done well in life, they've got a nice job, they're a pharmacist or whatever they are, but they act like they're millionaires, man. They forgot old days, and one thing you should remember is where you've come from, where your parents have come from. You
and
can't.
Also, where you're going to go.
Where you're going to go, yeah.
Where you're going to go. Everyone's going to the same place. So
we're going to die. And you know what? You should ask the Lord that you do have somewhere to go to get buried. People will come and read your janazah. If you be good to people, people might turn up at your janazah. People don't have time these days, brother. Yeah. People don't have time these days. I know people whose mates have passed away and they've been busy working. They haven't gone to the janazah, so try to be nice to everybody.
As you said, it's about your character, because you can have as much money as in the world that you need, but doesn't mean that people are going to turn up.
Money is not going to buy you respect.
Exactly.
Money is not going to buy you respect. Money is not going to change your character. If money does change your character, you're a weak man. You're a weak man.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a question for you. What's the most eye-opening case that you ever had, or something that made a switch in your brain that you thought it changed something that you viewed, it changed the way that you viewed something, or changed your mindset, maybe opened you up to something else? What's the most eye-opening experience you've had working with any client?
I can't really point out one specific one, I'll be honest with you. But the main eye-opener would have been like how difficult the prosecution are when providing us with disclosure. How difficult they are when the rule actually is the prosecution should provide us with anything that they feel will assist us in the case or undermine their case. That's the actual rule. Okay. But the eye-opener is that how difficult they make it for us as defense lawyers. And if we don't ask for something, we don't get it. Yeah. Where sometimes some disclosure, some evidence that we can get from them is the difference between somebody getting 20 years or somebody going home. Yeah. That's a big eye-opener, how difficult they make our lives. But that's their job, innit?
Yeah. That's the system as well. I think you mentioned before. Where,
A side, B side.
Yeah, you mentioned before there was a worker some lady worked for the prosecution, and she saw some evidence that was going to be used that could have been given to you, or for the defendant, but then her boss just shredded it or something like that. I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So it's who keeps them in check? Like, there's nothing, what I mean. But always the blame comes on the defense.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a bit of a difficult one, because it's just how the system is. The system is based around there's no one to judge them in that sense. But everyone is going to come onto your back and drop all these comments and everything. But yeah. That's
the thing. Everybody takes it out on defense lawyers, man. They need to Look on the other side as well.
Perspective.
What are they doing? Yeah, what are they doing? Are they doing things properly? Not everybody who's charged is guilty of an offence. No. But the mindset that people have these days is, yeah, just because you're in court, you must have done something. No. Why? Why would you have done something? Why? Let the prosecution prove it. That's the case. That's the case. If somebody's saying they're not guilty, let them have a fair trial, man. If somebody gets acquitted at trial, if it gets found not guilty, why do people say they're snitches? Why do people say, no, they must have done it, you got a guilty person off? Why? Why can't people say, oh, well done, you saved an innocent man from saving 20 years in prison? You don't hear that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, I think we've run out of time just about. So thank you for coming on to podcast today.
No worries,
you
man.
Having me here, and the hospitality has been amazing, mashallah. So
no worries, my brother. Just before I go, I would like to say something. Remember, there's a defense for every offense.
Thank you guys for watching. Please give us a like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.